Well, here we are again, this Brother Peter with tidbits from the Word. Just a few little reminders of where we are. We're in chapter Genesis. We're fixed to go into chapter 8. We're recapping still a little bit of what happened here. We're talking about 33 acts of God with Noah before he told him that Abraham would be coming on the scene and that he was going to start a righteous generation through the seed of Abraham. Now, God shut the door and he made promises to Noah. He fulfilled those promises. Here it is wintertime. And look at that. That's a wasp. I started the fire up here, and I got a wasp flying around. All right. He shut the door of the ark. He made the promises. He fulfilled those promises. Now he remembered in 8 and 1, and that's where we are now. And God remembered Noah and every living thing and all the cattle that was with him in the ark. And God made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters, the word here is aswagged. The waters went down. They aswagged. They went down. They receded. And the wind blew the waters and dried the waters up and moved the waters to where God wanted them. And by the way, I'm of an understanding there would be at this point no frozen tundra on the earth. So God had a plan. He stuck those waters at the north and south ends of the earth, and he froze them up. And that's why they're finding woolly mammoths in the ice today. And the fountains also of the deep and the windows of heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained. Now we're going to see the things that happened. God tells what he did. He stopped the windows of heaven. He stopped the rain. He stopped the water from bubbling up out of the earth coming up. You remember when the flood started, the water came up out of the earth and the water came down on the earth. And the waters returned from off the earth continually, and after the end of 150 days, the waters were abated. And the ark rested on the 7th month and the 17th day of the month upon the mountain of Ararat. Now that's what it says in the Bible. That's what it says. Do you want to find the ark? Find the Mount of Ararat, and you will find the remains of the ark, or what is there, diminished there. And if these guys are so smart, which they say they are, I'm amazed that they haven't really done more in that area than they have. And verse 5, and the waters decreased continually until the 10th month. In the 10th month, on the first day of the month, where the top of the mountains were seen. Now, as the water started down, it didn't happen all immediately. There was there was a month or so here. There was some time had to pass to dry up this earth. It didn't just dry up, and it had to reharden. Remember now, it was solidified. It had to reharden. And it came to pass at the end of 40 days, Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made. And he sent forth a raven, which went forth to and fro until the waters were dried up from the earth. Also he sent forth a dove from him to see if the waters were abated from off the face of the ground. Now he knew the raven would land on unclean things, and the raven would do that, but the dove would not land on unclean things. The dove would return if there wasn't a clean place on them. Okay, verse 9. But the dove found no rest for the sole of his foot, and she returned unto him unto the ark. For the waters were on the face of the whole earth. Then he put forth his hand, took her, pulled her in unto him into the ark. What a picture. That's the picture of God and man. Here's the picture. Noah stuck his hand out the window and said, come on, sweetheart, you come on back in here, and we're going to keep you safe for another period of time. And that's what he did. He brought that dove in and kept that dove safe for another period of time. And put his hand forth. Verse 10, and he stayed yet another 7 days. And again he sent forth the dove out of the ark. And the dove came into him in the evening, and lo, in her mouth was an olive leaf plucked off. So Noah knew that the waters were abated from off the earth. Verse 12, and he stayed yet another 7 days, and sent forth the dove, which returned not again unto him any more. Verse 13, and it came to pass in the 601st year, first month, first day of the month, that the waters dried up from off the earth, and Noah removed the covering off the ark, and looked, and behold, the face of the ground was dry. And in the 2nd month, on the 27th day of the month, was the earth dried up. Now, we see a lot of things here. And one of the things that you and I can see here is that God wrote down the months, the days, and the time period that he was in there. Every month is listed. The days of the month were listed. Everything was listed as it was supposed to be. Excuse me a minute while I pick up my little pooch here. Everything was listed. And so there's nothing left to chance. There's nothing left to discover. You want to discover? Discover what God said. Multiply it, divide it, do what you want with it. You won't change it. It's all the same, and it's correct. Every single solitary second of every day was counted for by God of every month on that day and everything. Now the end of the second dispensation, which was the dispensation of conscience. The dispensation of conscience was up until the day of Noah. That's where every man did what was right in his own eyes. Every man did what was right in his own eyes. And then God came along here in the next thing, and he's going to make the third dispensation, and he's going to make a human covenant. It's going to be 427 years from the flood to a man called Abraham. It's going to be 427 years. There is something about the 400 years that rings a bell with God. You know, remember, from Malachi to Matthew was 400 years. Do you remember it was 400 years that the children were dealt with in Egypt? And after they left Egypt, it was 400 years that God didn't deal with the children for a while. And then another thing you see is 40 days. There are several listings in the Bible of things that happened 40 days and 40 nights. Like, for instance, Noah went up on the mountain. Actually, he went up twice, 40 days each. Jesus fasted 40 days. There were many things that have 40s in them. You can take a good study Bible like this date right here and trace it down and find out where those are. Now, God spoke to Noah, saying, Go forth out of the ark, thou and thy wife and thy sons' wives with thee. Bring forth with thee every living thing that is with thee, of all flesh, both of the fowls, of the cattle, and every creeping thing, and the things that creep upon the earth, every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, that they may breed abundantly in the earth, and be fulfilled and multiply upon the earth. God's plan was breeding, was that they multiply. That means each one with their own kind and each